So what all we've learned in the last week. So last week was more of a technical SEO. Okay, we started with page speed analysis. We've looked at the major, the major important parameters which impacts your website's load speed and the performance. Okay. We've understood how to do that. I have also, in fact, shared a few plugins. How many of you have actually tried those plugins? The name of plugins which I've shared in last session. Oh, okay. Someone's audio is on. So please, those who are, uh, let me just mute all of you. Okay. I hope now it's fine. Great. So how many of you have actually tried those plugins? Be honest. Come on. Okay. Varun says me. Who else? Who else? So see, like, hardly a couple of them have actually have installed the plugins and see that's what I mean. If you will not do this practically, if you will not implement these things, then you will not be able to understand how SEO works. You have to do practicals. You have to go and play around it, like the way Varun is doing. See, I understand he will be losing all the data, but then see, that's how you learn, right? Then so now you've understood that those problems were because of some of the plugins that they've got installed on the back end, and maybe it was clashing with the theme or the server, right? So when you do mistakes and then that's how you learn, right? So Anil says, I have give it to the developer, have not received the website yet. Okay, no worries. So keep on following up with the developer and make sure that he's kind of making sure that all the SEO related optimization checks are there on your live website. Okay, so post Google PageSpeed, we've learned more about the robots.txt XML sitemap. So what is robots.txt, guys? If you can answer, what is robots.txt? What is robots.txt? It helps crawler to crawl the website. Okay, so that is the first file which your bots, when they come to your website, they look for, right? Why? Because from there they get instructions, from there they get directions that how to go ahead about your website in terms of crawling and indexing. All right. And the second file is your sitemap. Now, sitemap is nothing but the map of your website. It's basically a blueprint of your website. Correct. So that's what we've learned, and then we've learned more about the URL structure. So how many of you can remember what are the pointers that you should remember when it comes to URL optimization? There were 3 4 important pointers that you should remember when it comes to URL optimization. Yes, come on, anyone? URL optimization. Yes, it should have a keyword. Very good, Anil. What else? Yes, anyone else apart from put hyphen as a separator? Absolutely. So hyphen, Google considers hyphens as a space, right? So that's number two. Okay, HTTPS is also there, but then we will be learning more about that later on. So don't overuse keyword, use hyphens and avoid special characters. Okay, avoid special characters, which is equal to question mark, right? No, so page speed is for your overall website, Varun. We were just looking at the URL part. All right. So that's what we've learned in our previous session. It was more about the URL, and then we've looked at the Google page speed insights. Correct. And here we were where we've left out our entire, the last session. So now we will resume it from here. Okay. Rashmi says, I want to know if I have a personal blog, then while doing keyword research in Keyword Planner, selecting location is a necessity. Uh, well, Rashmi, that's not necessary, but then I would recommend to have the location. I mean, see, I understand you have a blog, but then on that blog you'll be writing something about it, right? If it is about travel, then you'll be writing 10 different things to target, for Indians who are planning to travel to Bali. So here you're targeting entire India, or things to know while traveling to Bali from Mumbai. So then you are targeting Mumbai as a target audience, correct? So whenever you use, the location, those keywords becomes medium and low competitive keywords, and it becomes very easy for you to rank on those. There is no kind of compulsion that whether to use, but this is a strategy level point, or recommendation which helps you. Okay. Now let's start with canonicalization. Okay, so it's not that difficult as difficult it is to pronounce. Okay, but it's that small part, onto your website, onto your SEO, which has a big impact on the SEO results. So what is canonicalization? Canonicalization is nothing but, when you have two different URLs but with the same content. Now let's understand this with an example. So how many of you have seen, a website with www and without www? You like, most of you have seen it, right? Or there is one more example, like, like this. Okay, let me give you one example. So see, this is also my home page, correct? This is also my home page. And now when I go to any other page, and when I click again, on my home page, so you see index.php, or home.php or home.html, right? But both of them are same page, right? Correct. If you guys are there, at least, respond to the chat box. Great. So see, both of the pages are same for you, but then these are two different pages for Google with the same content. Why? Because every resource on your website has a single web address. Even with www and without www, these two pages are same for you. But for Google, these are two different URLs and two different web pages with the same content. So what we are talking about? We are talking about the duplicate content issue. Okay. So like, I've given two examples. Now the question must arise, right? Why such types of problems happen? Why such types of errors? So this is purely because of the website developers. See, website developers, they use, like, whenever you make a website from scratch, these types of error you will not find, in the WordPress based website. You will find on WordPress when you are installing it your by own. So I don't know how many of you can, you remember the installation process of WordPress. So when you install your WordPress website, there you get an option that whether you want your website with www or without www. If you don't select any of the option, it means your website will be available on both the domains. So don't do that. Okay. Otherwise you will have a canonicalization or a duplicate content issue. Now what if you have already done that? What if your blog is live, you've made up, you have 100 articles, your website is already ranking, and if you now change this, it will impact and affect all your website ranking. Okay, so what to do then? So there is a solution. The solutions are basically in two forms. Okay, first of all, I hope all of you have understood this problem of canonicalization, so that then we can move towards the solution part. Great. So see, there are two solutions to it. Number one, there are two solutions for the canonical issue. One is using this tag. Okay, so here you use this tag. Okay, where you mention this particular tag on your main page. So first of all, you need to finalize that which page you will consider as your final page. Okay, this one or this one. All right, now it is up to you which page you should consider as a main page, like your final page. All right, so how do you come to that part, whether this page will be considered as a main page or this one? Ask your team if your team have built backlinks or they were doing some promotion into online or offline space. What was the URL they were using? If let's say your team was doing some online marketing and SEO, and they've built more of the backlinks, like most of all the backlinks they've built on this page, then you have to consider this page as your final version of the page. Okay, so what to do? Let's say this page is your final version of the page. So on this page, in the header section, you need to upload this code. Okay, same code, you can copy paste the same code, but just change this URL with the duplicate page URL. So now if we have to take this example, okay, now if we have to take this example, I will upload that code on this page, and what URL I will use here? What URL I will use here? The duplicate page URL. So what will be the duplicate page URL? Yes, I'm asking you for this, considering this as an example. If we consider this as an example, yes, we will write it without www, correct? Because that's my duplicate page, right? Then there is another way where it is called as a self-referencing. So as in this code, then you will upload on the duplicate version of the page. Okay, so first code you will upload on this page, and the second, there are self-referencing canonical tag, you will upload it on the duplicate version of the page. Okay, so what you are doing by putting this code on your website on the heading tag, you are actually telling Google that boss, this page is the only final page for me, so please consider this page as the final version of the page. Okay. Parul says, do we need to upload both the codes simultaneously? No, Parul, you can take any of the code. Okay. So these are two different ways. Like if you do this, then Google will consider this page as your final version of the page. If you do this, then Google will consider this page as the duplicate version of the page. So which is the other one? The which www will be considered as the final version of the page. So this is one solution. There is another solution called as 301 redirect. Okay, but the 301 redirect is also a solution for the broken pages, like the broken links. So first let's learn about the problem, broken links, what are the broken pages, and then we will discuss the solution, which is 301 redirect. Now that is the solution for broken pages also, and for the canonical tags, I mean the canonical problem. So yes, what is broken links, guys? I'm really sure that you must have visited, a lot of broken links while browsing the internet. So what is broken link? Okay, yeah, like 404 errors. Absolutely right. Supposed to open but doesn't. So now we are talking about broken links. So what do you mean by broken links? So broken links is something when you click on the link that is supposed to take you somewhere, yet instead it takes you somewhere else. Okay, or you get the 404 error message. That is called as a broken link, right? Now I'm talking about this. Let me give you one example of a broken link. 404 page not found, correct? Yeah, something like this, or something which we see quite often is this, correct? Okay, now why this is a problem? Now can anyone answer why this is a problem? Why this is a problem from your, considering it from the SEO side? Very simple. If you go to the first session, you know, why this will be considered as a problem for your SEO. If you go to the first session and recollect, crawling and indexing, right? Bots come for the very limited amount of, when they come to your website, they have a very limited amount of time. Now just imagine if they land on this page. What will happen? This becomes a dead end, right? This becomes a dead end for them. So they will close the tab and they will go to some other website. Now this is not only a dead end for the the bots, but users, even the like the humans, the customers, the visitors, when they also visit such types of pages, they kind of uh, they don't get the good feel. I mean, it's like it's more related to your branding, like let's imagine that you if you land on something like 404 page, you see that, okay, hey, what happens with this website or the brand doesn't look trustworthy, so they will close and they'll go to the competitor's website. Okay, so that's why the broken link is kind of an issue with your SEO. So what's the solution? Okay, so we will get into the solution, but before that, let's understand how to find out the broken links, how to find out how many links are broken on your website. Okay, so we have this tool called as broken link checker by small SEO tools. Okay, so here you go, right? You just need to simply copy the website URL for which you want to check the broken links. So just copy and then say enter. Okay, so can you see this status column? So in the status column, you will see the green check mark. So wherever you see green check mark, it means that the link is active. And wherever you see the red cross mark, it means that the link is not there, or that you can consider as a broken link. All right. So for example, see this one. Can you see this? It says there's a broken link. So this is how you need to find the broken link. Okay. So there are two solutions to the broken link. Solution number one is to have a 404 customized page. Okay, now what is customized page? So let me give you an example of this 404 customized page. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is called as a 404 customized page. All right. So what happens when you have a 404 customized page? Do you think this becomes a dead end for the bots or for the humans? Why no? Because they still have the navigation on. Okay, they still have a button from where they can go to the home page, they can explore more, right? Now how to create this customized 404 page. People who have a website on WordPress, don't worry. Most of the theme, like 90% of the themes nowadays, in fact the free themes also, they have the customized 404 page inbuilt. Okay, so there you guys have sorted when it comes to WordPress. There is another solution to this 404 page is the 301 redirects. Okay, so what is 301 redirect? How many of you have heard about this 301 redirect before? Anyone who have heard about 301 redirect before? Okay, no problem. So let me explain this. Okay, so there are multiple types of redirects are there on the in the SEO world or in the website designing and development world. Okay, there you have 301, 302, 404, 405. These are the different redirects are available. Now, when you say 302, 302 is considered as a temporary redirect. Okay, and 301 will be considered as a permanent redirect. Okay, I'm repeating this again. 302 is considered as a temporary redirect. 301 is considered as a permanent redirect. Now let us understand this with an example. Okay, let's say you have a two different pages on your website. I'm going back to the canonical because, like I said, this is also a solution for the canonical issue. All right. Now let's say you have two different pages. Okay. Now your team, your SEO team, they have built backlink to this page also and this page also. Okay. Now let's say you want to consider this as your final page. Okay, you want to consider as your final page. But what about the efforts and time your team have invested to building backlinks and populating this page on the internet? That will completely go, waste. That the efforts, the time, the energy they have put across, on this particular website. So because you were building some backlinks, your team were building some backlinks to this website on this particular web page, there were certain SEO powers you have achieved on this particular web page, right? But if you delete this page, I mean this particular page, then you will lose out all that you know uh, SEO power. What do you call SEO power? So what is SEO power? The links, the links you build, or maybe you add a title tag, or maybe you optimize the page by putting more keywords in it. So you are kind of optimizing that page. So that's what I'm trying to say, that this page was optimized as well. Although not like this one, but then yes, your team have invested a lot of time and energy to this page to make it more optimized. Now, if you just delete this page, you will lose out all the optimization. Okay, so that's when redirect 301 redirect comes into picture. So when you do 301 redirect of this page to this page, it means you are telling the search engine bots or Google that you want to pass on all the optimization and SEO power which you have built on this page to this as the final page. So all the hard work and energy and time you have invested to optimize this page will get transferred to this as your final page. Okay. And now whenever someone will enter this URL, it will take them to this particular URL. Okay. So that's 301 redirect. So only one version of your website or a web page will then exist. This page will not exist. Whenever you will go onto this link, you will automatically get redirected onto this particular page. Okay. So I hope all of you have understood the 301 redirect. Now how to do it? How to do this 301 redirect? There are two ways to execute or implement this part. One is with the help of website developer. Okay. Now it comes to website developer, you simply need to just give them the Excel sheet. For example, let's say this is the Excel sheet. Okay. Just tell them this is your current URL. Okay. And this one is your final URL. Yes, Parul, it's a permanent redirect. So that's why we call it as a permanent redirect, because you want to pass on all your optimization, which it was there on the earlier version of the page. Now you want to transfer all of that to the new version of the page. Okay. So a lot of people do this when they kind of have the old product, let's say product 1.0, or basic product. Now that particular product is discontinued for any reason, like now you have come up with the upgraded version of that product, so you want to remove, or now you want to delete that page because that particular product is discontinued for forever. So instead of deleting that page, you will do the 301 redirect to the second version of that product, so that all the optimization will get transferred to the new version of the page. Okay. So let's say the example would be, this is your current version like abc.com, and you want to do 301 redirect to this abc.com. Okay. So this is how you can just make the list of all the broken links, or maybe the current URLs which you want to redirect to the final URL, and mention all your final URLs in this particular column. Okay. So this is how your website developer can do it. And now when it comes to WordPress, you have a lot of plugins which has a similar kind of settings. So even in WordPress plugins, there is one plugin called as a 301 redirect. Okay, install that plugin and activate that plugin, and in that plugin you will see similar kind of UI. Okay, where you will find the current URL, and then you will find another column where you need to mention the final URL, where you want to actually redirect the bots and the users to the final version of the page. Okay, is it applicable in WordPress, or if I built my website from scratch, or for both this optimization is required? Shika, this is required for the both. Okay, because this is a solution for the broken links also, right? Great. So any questions till now onto the canonicalization part or onto the broken links? Clear. All right. Great. So the next topic what we will be learning today is the mobile SEO. Yes. Anyone who have heard about mobile SEO, or what does that mean? Can somebody tell me what is mobile SEO? Is it that I will be optimizing my mobile speed? I will make my mobile smartphone run faster. If you optimize that, will it gonna capture some good clear pictures now? Is that the mobile SEO or something else? Optimization, yes, responsive is one. You're right, responsive is one. But what else apart from that? Like CSS for phone? Mm-hmm. Okay. Structure for phone. Very good. Content for the mobile friendly. All right. Now, in a nutshell, if I have to tell you, mobile optimization is the process of ensuring that the visitors who access your site from mobile devices, they should have an experience optimized for that device. Now, we all understand the importance of mobile. I mean, nowadays if you see, more than 80% of your visitors, they come from smartphone as a device, correct? So whenever they are coming to your website from the smartphone, they should have a great experience. That's what mobile SEO is all about. Now, what we will be learning specifically, the mobile SEO, which is divided into three parts of mobile web, apps, and the so-called future is voice search. Okay, I mean, I will not call that as a future because it is already there. A lot of people are using it. Okay, so let's start from the mobile websites. All right, earlier, now let's look at the history. Okay, so mobile website has a good history. Okay, I'll give you and explain this thing in a different flow. Now I'm talking about at least 7 8 years back, where we used to have the dynamic serving. Now what is dynamic serving? Okay, we used to have the separate mobile URLs. I don't know how many of you can recollect, but then 6 7 years back, in fact, Flipkart, not even Flipkart, Facebook also. When I used to open Flipkart in my smartphone, it used to open as an m.flipkart.com. Okay, and then when I used to open that in the tablet, it used to get open as a t.flipkart.com, correct? And then on your desktop you have the normal version of www.flipkart.com. Same used to happen with the Facebook. So that was history. Okay, like still a lot of brands, they prefer this particular strategy, just to give those who like willing to showcase their creativeness into their website, those who believe that my responsive website will not do the justice to my users who are accessing it from mobile, they create separate website for the mobile. Okay, but very few brands are doing it. Most of it have shifted to what we call responsive design. Okay, so what is responsive design, guys? What is responsive design? Yes, I'm sure all of you have heard about this responsive design. Okay, it can be applicable to all formats, works on all platforms. All right, now customized to all platforms. Okay, specially made. Hmm. So, see, it is not specially made for mobile, Varun. But what happens is, when you say responsive design, it means that you only have a single website. Okay, you have a single website, but then the design is made up in a such a way that it adjusted basis on the device or the size of that device. Okay, so that's what responsiveness is all about. A lot of people have said there is a separate CSS for the responsive design. Yes. So test site for responsive design using Chrome. You can, like, now let's understand how to check whether this particular website is responsive or not. All right. So can anyone guess how to check responsiveness? I'll give you the easiest way to check whether your website is responsive or not. Okay, just resize the browser screen. That's it. Can you see this? I have just resized my browser screen, which now looks like as a mobile. Can you see this? It looks like a mobile, right? So that is how my website looks like in mobile. Correct? So let's say I have, this is my menu now, and this menu, like, if you call this as a the terminology, what we called as a burger menu. Okay, we call this as a burger menu. Yes, so you're right. Hamburger for the navigation, right? And this is how you have the services now. Okay. Now, if I want to see this, how it looks like in the tablet, so change your screen size, which is like a tablet. Okay. And this is how it looks like in the desktop. All right. Now, if you still want to check this, there is an official tool by Google. Okay, Google Mobile uh, Friendly Test. This is what I'm talking about, the very first one. This is how the, okay, you want me to share the URL in the chat box? Let me do that. Copy the website URL, come down here and say enter. All right, I need to verify what. That included. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Crosswalks. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, we're done. I didn't knew that there is now new types of captcha, captcha verifications. So it's analyzing your website, whether it's a mobile friendly website or not. So pay attention, guys, because this is also part of your assignment. So wherever I mention it and I explain it, twice or thrice, wherever I see that that particular part is there in your assignment. Okay, so there you go. It says the page is mobile friendly. Correct. You also get to see some page load, issues, which is page partially loaded. So you can always talk to your website developer and ask them that these are the errors I'm getting. Can you help me with sorting out these JavaScript? So see, these are the same errors which you get into the page speed insight tool. Okay, but here this one is specifically for your mobile responsiveness check. Okay, so this is called as a Google's mobile friendly test. All right, what is important for you to know is that the page is easy to use on a mobile device. Okay, so that's how you can check whether the website is responsive or not. Like those who have the separate mobile URL, they should be having, they should need to use the canonical tag separately for that different mobile website, because what's happening is they have three different websites now. So they have to use canonical tag for all the different sites which are they are meant for the different devices. So guys, earlier we had what dynamic serving where we used to have different websites for the different devices. Then we've got responsive design, and now we have AMP pages. Okay, but then this is still not the not completely available for everyone. This is still in the beta phase. So a lot of people are saying that AMP is the future, or what you called as the accelerated mobile pages. So this is basically designed by Google in Google's framework, okay, which basically makes sure that your website pages loads faster. Okay, it is a combination of HTML, JavaScript, and CDN, right? I'm sure most of you have seen it, but then you cannot name it because you don't know that it's an AMP technology. Let me give you one example. Okay, since I'm on a desktop, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to share one example, but yeah, uh, we will get a video on it. Okay, so I'll say we'll call AMP example. Okay, I think we will be able to see this here.
Hello, my name is Patrick Chimura. AMP stands for Accelerate Static Site at the bottom, and you lose
Okay,
which I will go over.
here you go.
Consists
See,
of
if you
three
can
major
see this, if you can see this a smartphone, just pay attention. You will be able to see what exactly I'm trying to explain, like when it comes to AMP pages.
components, AMP HTML, AMP JS, and the AMP.
There you go. Can you see it?
CDN,
How quickly
which I will
it
go
got loaded,
over
and now I'm sure that most of you have experienced
AMP
the
is
AMP
basically a set of
technology earlier.
specifications that can
In
combine
fact,
two
Facebook on
solutions rather
Facebook
than
ads
being
also you
an
have this
end-to-end
AMP technology which you can apply.
product.
So how many of you have seen it? How many of you have seen it? The AMP technology. Raise your hand. Yes, say yes. Whether you have seen this example. Okay. Now, if you have not seen, so from now onwards, whenever you are searching anything on Google, try to look for this particular sign, okay, which we call it as a flash sign. Uh, Let me just give you one example. When I say AMP, this is what you should look for. Okay. See, here you go. Can you see this? In most of the Google searches, either you see that that is mentioned that it is an AMP, or you see this flash sign, which means that you know uh, this particular page is been developed in the AMP technology. So it is still in a beta phase, but then uh, yeah, it is going to be the future. Like people don't want to waste time, and right now, not Google. Right now, I mean, Google not giving them the priority, but then going forward, once it is fully rolled, you know, uh, once it is rolled out completely to the entire internet, or what you call it as a world wide web, then Google will start giving more priority to the AMP pages as compared to the website which are not made up in AMP. Okay. Now, if you want to learn more about this, I have got a detailed. Okay, let me share that thing. I have got the detailed steps about the AMP, how it works. Okay, now since we are talking more about the mobile, let us think from the designs perspective. Now, being a marketeer, since you are the one who will be working as an SEO expert, or a someone who will be working closely with the marketing team, you should also have some design knowledge. Okay, now not from the from a designer's point of view, but from more from the customer's point of view, and then understanding from the SEO point of view as well. Okay, so don't use Flash. First of all, Flash days are gone. Now we have HTML5, JavaScript. Don't use pop-ups. Now I would not recommend to use pop-up, but I would rather tell you that have a pop-up which is a responsive pop-up. Yes, Tom, you're right. I'm talking more from a user experience point of view. Uh, so see, you can have pop-ups, but then a lot of people, they have pop-up, but then they don't know whether, okay, let me just see if you have an example here. Okay, yeah. So this is one of our client. Like, we are going. This is the final pitch presentation happened today, so we have closed them. So now we will be revamping their website. Let me see if their pop-up is responsive or not. Yeah. So see, the pop-up is not responsive. Can you see the pop-up now? But see, you cannot access the website. The website is now like remember now. If you now you can recollect that JavaScript issue which we were talking about, where sometimes JavaScript blocks the bots to crawl an index. See, this is the reason I cannot access the content part of the page just because of the pop-up. Okay, now let's close the pop-up and then try to resize it. There you go. Can you see it? Now I can access this. Okay, because the pop-up was not mobile responsive, I was not able to access to the to the content part of it. Same happens with the bots. All right, that's why we suggest that use pop-ups. I mean, don't use pop-ups. Even if you're using it, make sure it's a responsive one. Okay, always design for thumb, because people who use the smartphone, they always have thumbs. They like, ask yourself, you're the target customer, right? You'll be visiting a lot of websites through what you need. I mean, what you look at the website when you are going it or visiting that website from the smartphone. Use schema.org structured data. Now that is something which we will learn in detail in the next presentation. So more about what is structured data, what is schema, and how to apply that onto your website. And then next we have is the optimize for the local search, and that is also there in the coming upcoming session. We will be learning in detail about what is local SEO and how to optimize your website for the local SEO. Right? So that's what more from the a mobile web point of view. Now let's get into the mobile app point of view, which is ASO, your app store optimization. So app store optimization also includes the way we have the title, description, keyword on our website, the heading tag. You remember how many of you can remember the the important on-page meta tags of a website? And can anyone name those? Can anyone name those? Okay, title is one, description is one. What else? Yes, image alt tag, tagline. No, I mean, Rashmi, you're talking about from the WordPress point of view, maybe. In a WordPress, when you apply a tagline, that will be considered as a description. Okay, but then always go with the plugin like SEO Yoast, where you have the facility and opportunity to uh, add, different plugin, I mean, different description and title to the individual pages. Okay, Parul says, if we have a responsive website, do we still need an app? Uh, well, I mean, that's a tricky question to answer. I mean, if somebody asks me that whether my business or a brand should need an app, then I always recommend them, or I always, bluntly tell them no. Although I have a mobile app development team, but then see, this is a strategic answer or a question which you should ask yourself. That, see, nowadays ask yourself, how many applications do we use every day in our day-to-day life? Hardly there are 10 to 15 apps that we use, right? And most of them includes your communication apps like WhatsApp, Insta, Facebook, and then the shopping apps if you are regular into online shopping like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, and then you have a Swiggy, Zomato, and on-demand apps like Ola, Uber, right? So maximum 10, 15 apps you use. If you have something. great as an idea which you think that your people or your target customers or your audience will use application every day. See, making an app is not a problem. Getting app installs is also not a problem. But the biggest challenge nowadays is to getting more app engagement. Okay. Your target customers, they will install the application, but then it is also important that how frequently they are coming to your app. Okay. So if you think that your customers are someone who, or if you really think that your service or your product requires an app, then only go with the app. Otherwise, the responsive website also does the job. Correct? That also works as an app only. I mean, in a nutshell. Okay. So yeah, like coming back to the ASO App Store optimization, the way we have the on-page optimization for the website, similar way we have the ASO for the application. If you want to rank higher in the Google Play Store search, then you need to make sure that you should have all these important parameters checked in. So number one is name. Okay, so when I say name, uh, if you guys have paid attention and observed while installing any application, especially the Flipkart and Amazon, if you have not done, you can try it right now. Just search Amazon in the Google Play Store. They will not have their brand name. Even if they will have their brand name, that will be after a keyword called as online shopping in India, and then hyphen Flipkart or maybe hyphen Amazon. Why? Because that's their keyword. Okay, that's their keyword, online shopping in India. Okay, then while uploading this application onto the Play Store, there is also an opportunity to there's also a facility where you can add different keywords which describes your application. Then you have a description, so you need to describe and make sure that in the description also you are using the targeted keywords. Then you have the icons, right? Make sure that the icon is catchy and going with your with your brand guidelines. You should have a promo video. Like a lot of people nowadays, they wish to see the features or maybe the app as in a live action in the video. Ratings now, see, this plays very important role. uh, is there anyone in this particular batch who installs any application without looking at the ratings and reviews? No, right? I mean, absolutely everyone wants to go through with the reviews and rating. Like a lot of people, they uh, might be installing applications like the banking apps. Okay, but then there are people who even check the reviews for those apps, who don't want to get into the hassle. I mean, in fact, those are the application where you have to check the ratings, because there is a security concern. If you're not happy or if your data here and there, your credit card and debit card details goes on toss, right? So ratings and reviews plays very important role. Then you have the screenshot. Now, see, screenshots are important for the mostly the immature audience, like the parents and the senior citizens. They actually nowadays check the screenshots before installing an app, just to have an idea that whether they will be able to use that application or not. Okay, so I've got the detailed ASO cheat sheet where you need to follow all these important parameters. Let me just share the link with all of you in the chat box. Here you go. Okay, and next is your indexing your application. So the way we make sure that our website is getting indexed in the Google's database, same way you need to make sure that your app is getting indexed. Now, how to get your app indexed? We have got the step by step procedure written into this particular link. So I'm sure all of you guys are bookmarking these links or making note of it. But yeah, any which ways, you have the access to these presentations, right? So you can also take links from there. The next one is the voice search optimization. Now, okay, you need to tell me what are these. What are these? Okay, robot. All right. I want to see like what do you, how do you guys, consider these voice search agents? Okay, so a lot of people call them as a virtual assistants, virtual agents. You call them robots. I will not call them as an AI because still it is, for me, it is just, you know, a voice to text kind of and feature, correct? So here we have, a Siri, which you can find, which will be you can find in all the Apple devices. So, you guys must have, heard like in this session, like whenever it is 8 or when it is 9, you guys must have heard that, somebody is, so maybe after 5 minutes, you'll hear that it's 9 p.m. Correct? So that's Siri, right? She's always reminding me that the time is going on, so you need to work and you have to be more productive. Correct? Then next you have the Cortana. Cortana is for Windows. Correct? Google is for Android, and then we have Alexa for the Amazon. Right? So these are the voice search agents. Now let us look at how these are beneficial for your SEO campaign or your SEO activity, and how does it affect on your SEO rankings. All right. First, we have the schema markup. So schema markup is something that, like I said, we will be learning into the next presentation. Okay, that's the next topic. So we will learn that in detail. Uh, then next we have is the right for conversational phrases. So see, how many of you here use voice search? How many of you are here, out of this batch, how many of you are active on the voice search? Okay, one, two, three, four, five. All right. Anyone else? Seven. Okay. Shika says sometimes I will not count you. Rashmi 8. Gayatri 9, 10. Okay. So I don't know. So the current batch strength is somewhere around 30 people. And out of 30, we've got somewhere around 12, 15. So that's 50%. Okay. That's 50% of, you are using voice search. So just imagine the importance of voice search nowadays. All right. Now those who are using voice search, sometimes or maybe on daily day-to-day basis, what are the questions do you ask to the, to the assistants? I mean, these virtual agents. If you have paid attention and observed closely, you ask more of the WH questions, okay, which are uh, something like, what's the name of that Thai restaurant, or uh, which are the top 10 best Chinese restaurants near me, or why this happening, or where, what, when, how to do XYZ, how to bake a cake. These kind of questions we ask most of the time to our the voice search agents. Now, see, what is voice search as a technology? It's the same I mean, it's the same what we used to type, but now, because technology making us lazy, you know things came from typing to our fingers, to our thumb, and now they want to make us more lazier. I mean, now they want to now we want everyone on our command. Correct? So it's just whatever you are talking or whatever you are telling to the voice search agents, that is being converted into the text, and the search is performed on your behalf, and you see the results. Now, if you want to rank, okay, on the voice search queries, it's very simple. Do a back calculation. Consider yourself at the place of customer. If let's say you are a customer, okay, what are the questions that you will ask to the voice search? Note down all those questions, and those questions will act as a keyword. All right. Now, create a blog post or create a page where you think that this can be the detailed answer of that question, which your customers should ask or will ask, when they use a voice search. Correct? Now make sure that that keyword is placed in detail. Remember, I have given an example of a zero result, uh, where again there people use a lot of how to and WH types of questions. So I've said that create a detailed article, which you think that this is going to be the detailed topic answer for that particular question being asked on the entire internet. Okay, and here some keywords rightly put across the title, description, heading tag, image alt tag, and then if you build some
It's 9
backlinks,
o'clock.
your job is done. See, this is what I was talking about. My Siri just informed me that it's 9 o'clock. Okay, then the next one, when since we are talking from the mobile voice search point of view, lot of people, they ask questions in the voice search to their local area. So for example, me, I ask a lot of questions saying that which are the best Italian restaurants in Malad West, or Chinese restaurants in Malad West, correct? So how to make sure that when people are searching these queries, your website should rank? So there are two ways. One, you can have a Google Maps listing, which you can do it by having applying it on to the Google My Businesses. The next, you can create a separate local page, okay, on your website. So create a local page on your website, and that page will be focused onto that particular target location. So let's say you have multiple branches or centers into different cities, or even in the cities you have a different centers. So create separate page for every center. Okay. For example, in Mumbai, you have different locations, right? You have Andheri, Andheri West, and same goes with, all the different cities in India and in the world. They have different target, specific locations and pin codes. So try to create, different uh, pages for those keywords. So what you are doing by creating different pages, you are telling Google that was this page belongs to that so and so locality page. So next time when somebody search anything, please rank this local page on that particular keyword. Okay. So that's creating a local page. Next, where you can now, since we are what we are doing basically right now is we are learning different types of strategy and activity, that how to use voice search agents and be there on the top when they are searching the voice search and commands. Now, this is the best example of, or considered as a case study from the policybazaar.com. Uh, this is their FAQ page for the health insurance. All right. Now, just imagine if you want an health insurance, what are the queries that you will search on the, or you will ask to the voice search agents? How much does health insurance cost? Right? Or what is the right time to buy a health policy? Correct? So just look at this, how smartly they have created their FAQ page, right? Where they are covering all the WH questions which are or can be asked by their target customers to the voice search agents. Okay, and then by clicking on this, you will see the separate answer for all of these questions. Correct? So see what you're doing. Like if you look from a like technical point of view, you're making this page more relevant to this particular keyword or to this particular keyword. Correct? So FAQ, creating an FAQ content for every individual page or a service page or a product page will, and that's the reason if you guys have again, paid attention to the Amazons and Flipkart, they also now have the FAQ for all the product pages. How many of you have seen that? Parul says one local page for all location is enough, or do we need to multiple local pages? So very good question, Parul. Well, I would suggest to look at the keyword searches. Let's say if a keyword search is like uh, SEO companies in Mumbai have got more keyword searches, or if SEO companies in XYZ locality have got good amount of searches, then you should go and create the page. It doesn't have a specific good amount of searches, then don't create a separate page. Okay. Add a Q&A to your site. Now, when we talk about Q&A, like uh, most of the time when you ask WH questions to Google, the one website which you see ranking at the top is Quora. How many of you have heard about Quora and have seen Quora ranking at the top when you ask WH questions? Quora, right? So yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. So Parul says I am regularly reading it. So can you imagine why Quora, or can you guess why Quora ranks at the top mostly on the WH questions? See, because that site is a forum. That site is meant for the question and answer. So that's naturally, people are putting up the questions, and then there are experts, or the audience who have been through that situation. They are answering those questions, correct? So that naturally the keywords are everything, everywhere placed in that, the answer or maybe in the question. So that page automatically becomes optimized for those keywords. That's the reason you see the, Quora ranking at the top. Now what you can do to rank your website or your blog: have a Q&A, kind of a section on your website, or maybe FAQ page will do the job. If it's a bigger website, if you think that your product has been used largely by everyone, then you can have a Q&A, a separate Q&A forum section for your particular website or a brand. Great. Any questions till now on the mobile SEO part? So we can take those questions right away. Okay. So then we can move to the schema part. All right, I'm just trying to. Okay, just give me a moment. I'm not able to like uh, select anything on the go to meeting. It's got freezed out. I know. I'm not sure how many of you can hear me. Okay. I think it got sorted out now. Is it audible now, guys? Or uh, great. Okay. A lot of people saying, but not able to see the screen. Is it visible now? Okay, great. So now the next topic which we'll be learning is the schema. Okay, schema, structure data. So what is schema first of all? How many of you have heard about schema? Anyone who knows what is schema? Okay, okay. Heard about but don't know. No, 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 no. All right, cool. Let me explain you what is schema. Okay. So schema.org is basically founded by Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, and Yandex. Is collaborative community activity with a mission to create, maintain, and promote schemas for structured data on the internet. Wow, that completely went bouncer. Well, I've just copy pasted the definition from the Wikipedia. All right, but let me explain in, with an example. Now, once if I'll show you some example, then you'll have a better idea. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you see search results with little added customization, in the search results. For example, ratings. For example, the images, in the search result itself. So, guys, that is called as. So there are multiple names to this. You call them schema. You call them structure data, schema.org. Okay, data highlighting. All of this is for the same word called as a structured data or schema, whatever you call it. Okay. So now, how many have seen these types of results? The star rating or maybe sometimes the images. I hope now all of you have understood what is schema. So it is basically to make your page look more attractive. Not I'm talking about not the web page, but making it sure that when it comes to your search results, they look more attractive. Okay. Now, okay, let me give you live example. I don't know whether we still have that schema. Okay, earlier we used to rank at the top when it comes to experts, but I'm not sure. Okay, we went to page 3, page 4, no problem. So see, this is what I'm talking about. Can you see this? Or for that matter, you also had this one. Okay. So why? First of all, a lot of people have this confusion, or a lot of people have this myth that schema will help you to rank at the top. No, schema or structured data doesn't have any connection between ranking. In fact, schema comes into picture when you are already ranking at the top. Okay, why? I mean, what impact it will have once you're ranking at the top? Now let's imagine, that these are the top 10 competitors who you see ranking at the top. But while scrolling this page, you see your eye goes to this particular results. Okay, so that is what schema does. I mean, schema comes into picture when you're already ranking at the top 10, just to get more eyeballs. Okay, just to improve your CTR, in another word, so that it catches more eyeball and people will click on your website result as compared to the 9 other competitors. Okay, so schema is to make your search listing more attractive. All right. That's why we called it as a data highlighting or structure data. So you are structurizing your search result. All right. I hope now all of you have understood it, Varun and others, those who had the doubt about the schema. Great. So this is the basically code, for the schema, right? Now the question comes in. There are two questions. One is what are the different types of schema which we can apply onto our website, and number two is how we can apply this schema to the website. Okay. So Anil says how we can use it. Yes. So that's what I'm trying to explain. There are two questions must arise. One, the different data types or different schema types or structure data types which you can apply to the website, and number two, how you can apply it to your website. Okay, so these are the different types of schema which you can apply. Okay, uh, for example, these one are the different types of schema which you can apply to your website and your blog. And there are two ways to use the schema, or there are two ways to apply the schema onto your website. One is with the help of website developer, where they have to take code and implement onto the website. Okay, so let me tell you, for developers also it's very easy, because we've got all the predefined set of tags for all the different schema onto this website called as schema.org. Once you click on get started, you will get all the codes readily available. Okay, so they just need to copy and paste it onto the website, but definitely they need to change the URLs basis on the website which they are implementing on. Okay, so for example, event, or for example review, if they have to implement the review code, so here you go, the detailed description for the developers about the review tag, and then there is also a code which they should apply onto the website. Okay, so there are two ways. One is with the help of the website developer, where you change into coding, which I hate a lot because I don't do coding anyway, and that also something which don't excites me. The number two, the second way to apply schema is with the help of a tool, right? So that is very easy. There is a tool called as a structured data highlighter into the search console, which we will look at today, specifically focusing on how to implement schema or structured data with that tool. Make sense, everyone? Because there you don't require any knowledge of coding. So we will learn more from that point of view. Okay. So now when you apply this through, I mean, whenever the website developers they apply the schema, they have three different types of code. One is microdata, RDF, and JSON. Okay, these are the three different types which they use it for the coding purpose. We will look at more from the the data highlighters point of view. Okay, so I'm skipping all these codes, however you can access through the presentation. This is because if you are highlighting it through the coding, but we will take the easier and the impactful route, okay, which will have the good impact. So how to generate the schema code for your website if you don't have a coding knowledge. All right, so there's this tool called as a Google Search Console. Now how many of you have heard about Search Console? I think that's there in the pre-course or pre-reading course material. I'm sure all of you have installed and activated Search Console for your blog, for your website. How many of you have activated your Search Console for your blog and website? Great, because that is important, that your website should have got activated into the Search Console. If it is not verified, then you will not be able to highlight your data. Great. I see everyone said yes. So I'm considering that all of you have verified your website, your blog into the Search Console. All right. So what is Search Console, guys? Search Console is if I have to give you a layman's definition, then I would rather call Search Console as a doctor of your website. Okay. So any website related issue from a SEO point of view, you get to know into the Search Console, like from a performance point of view. All right, so all of that data you get to know in the Search Console. Now we have this tool in the Search Console called as a data highlighter. So how to use data highlighter to apply schema onto your website? All right, let's go and do that practically live. So step number one, go on Google and search for data highlighter Search Console. Okay, you will see the first result, data highlighter Search Console. Click on that. There you will see a button which says open data highlighter. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to make sure that you are logged in with your Gmail account where you have got all those websites already added. Okay, your blog is already added into the same Search Console account. I'm repeating the steps again. Step number one, go on Google, search data highlighter Search Console, click on the result, and there you will see a button called as open data highlighter. Click on that and just make sure that you are logged in to the same Gmail account where you have got your website already added. Okay, so I will take one website for an example. Let's say this one. All right, so those who have not highlighted any data, they will see screen, this something like this. They will see screen something like this. There you have to click on start highlighting. Okay, but those who have already highlighted, they will see screen something like the way I have got here on my machine. Okay, in both the scenario you need to click on start highlighting. All right, so I will click on start highlighting. Now the moment you will click on start highlighting, you will see a pop-up. All right, now this pop-up has got three important information to fill in. Number one is the URL. Okay, number two is the type of information you want to highlight, and number three is the different radio button options. So we'll start from number three first, but that's very important. Okay, So what it's saying, it is saying that whether you want to tag this page and others like it, or you just want to tag this page. Now when I say tag, it means you want to highlight, any different types of schema onto the page. So if you want to highlight the same information onto all the web pages of your website by together, then go with this option. Or if you only want to highlight an individual page, then go with this option. Okay, I'm repeating this again. Once you open your search console data highlighter, you will see screen like this. If you have earlier also you have highlighted different pages. If you don't, then you will see something like this. Then you have to click on start highlighting. All right, here also I will click on start highlighting. Okay. Yes, Parul, this is only for SERP highlights. This is only for search engine ranking pages. You will see a pop-up. In the pop-up, you will see two different options. One says tag this page and others like it. So if you want to highlight same information for all your web pages, then you have to select this option. But if you only want to highlight your individual page, then you have to select this option. So we will right now look at only this as an option, like tag just this page. So I will open up my blog and I will take any of the article which I want to highlight. So let's say I want to highlight this article. Okay. So I'll copy this URL. All right. I'll come down here. I will paste the URL over here. Okay. The next is the type of information you want to highlight. As in, these are the different schema type or data type that you want to highlight. So you can highlight articles, book reviews, events, local businesses, movies, products, restaurants, software application, and TV episodes. Now you need to answer what is the information that you're highlighting for this page. Which option should I go for? Yes, I will go with the article and select the article and then say OK. So the moment you will click on OK, you will see a data highlighter box will open with the two frames. So it's loading. All right. Now, once you see here, you can give a name to this highlight. I mean, this is only for you. This is not for the search engine bots, so that you can understand which page you have highlighted. Okay. So I would say this is my, I'll just name this as my title of the article. Okay. And then I will say okay. Correct. So here you see the article itself, the article page, and at the right hand side you see the data items. Now always remember these data items will get changed based on the different items you are highlighting. Okay, because I've selected article, that's why you see title, author, and date published. If you have selected something as movie, then you must be having different data items like maybe star cast, director, uh, reviews, rating, something like that. All right. So now what is first one? The first one is title. Now how to highlight title? Okay, and that is also a required field. It's very simple. Just pay attention. So which one is my title? This is my title, right? So I will just select my title, and you have to leave your cursor. Okay, the moment you leave your cursor, you will see a drop down. So this is my title, correct? So select the title. Now you will see the moment I select a title, this title got highlighted just beside the title as a column. Then we have an author. So I don't have an author mentioned here. Okay. Or it's very simple. If you have an author, then you can just select the author name and then say that's the author. Okay. Right. So I'm not highlighting that one. Then we have a date published. So I also don't have a date published here because I'm not active, in terms of writing, especially the this particular blog. Then what else we have? We have image. So if you want to highlight image, select the image, select the image, and then say, select the image option. Okay, so I would add this under the image option. Can you see it here? The image is already loading, and yet, yes, it is got loaded. Then you have categories. So which category should I consider this? Okay, so whichever category you consider this article into, just select that category and say that's my category. Okay. Now if you have a ratings and reviews, then select the rating, reviews, or date of that particular date and time, select that. Or if you have a reviews, ratings, votes, select that, and it will get applied over here. Okay. And once it is done, you click on publish. There you go. You have just applied schema onto your article. Okay, we've applied title, image schema, and the category schema. I don't know if we've applied category or not. Okay, so it says data will become available as Google recrawls your site. So this will gonna take 7 to 15 working days, and then your the data which you have highlighted, that will be visible and available onto the search result pages. Now, in future, if you want to do some changes and if you want to highlight more data, then you can anytime click on this pencil button of edit, and you can start highlighting more data which you want. And if you want to unpublish it, click on unpublish. If you want to delete that, click on delete. Okay, so there you go. See, I've just deleted. So this is how you can start highlight your schema. Now, this is the last one. This is the last one we have in this today's session, and this is also a part of your assignment. All right, where you have to check how to test. I mean, it's basically testing the structured data, like what are the different types of schema is available on your website. Okay, Parul says, is this change instant? No, Parul, it will gonna take time, like 7 to 15 days, depending on how soon Google recrawls your website. Okay, that's what it is. It has got mentioned, like there is no time period. I'm just giving you the industry standard rates, like what Google recrawls in 7 to 15 working days. That's what the time and the data I've given you. Okay, cool. Now coming back to the tool, like from where you can check what are the different types of schema you have already got on your website. Okay, so we have a tool, and this is also part of your assignment, so pay attention. There is this tool called as a structure data testing tool. Okay, you go to the first result. Let me share the link so that you can do your kind of a bookmark it, and you can also complete your assignment. Come down here, copy the website for which you want to check the structure data, paste here, and then say run test. So you see two different screens. One is where it will show you the code of that schema, and here it will show you the different schema that you have highlighted. So wherever you see @type, okay, that's the different type of schema is highlighted and present on your website. So just pay attention. Now the moment I will select this, it will take me to the that particular schema code. So this is my professional service schema. Okay, next I have is the postal address, as in address of my schema. So I'm using, and then I have a geo coordinate, so that is also part of your postal address. Okay, so these are the two different types of schema is there uploaded on my website. Okay, Varun says, but my site is not working, how will I do the assignment? So Varun, try to recover it. If it is not happening, then you can take your friends or your colleagues website. Okay, and those who don't have a schema, you will see here NA or run zero error, something like that. Okay, that means that your website doesn't have any schema. A lot of WordPress themes, they have by default certain schemas implemented or installed on their website. Maybe collection, if you're using theme which talks more about the collections, then you will have a collection schema. Okay, so I hope all of you have understood how to check schema onto any of the website. Wherever you see at the red type, that's your schema. So yeah, we are done for the day. Now we are up for the question answer round. Okay, so Parul says, can you please explain this again? Sure, let me explain this while explaining the assignment. Okay, so it is also there in the assignment. So I'll probably explain that along with the assignment. Okay, so week 2 assignment is more about the on-page audit. So I'm just doing it for your reference. All right, don't do it for the same website. Take your website, the website which you are considering. All right. So business name, I would write this as Ally Digital Media. Website URL, allydigitalmedia.com. Robots.txt URL. Yes, can anyone answer? What's my robots.txt URL? Yes, those who have completed the step 1. So what's the robots.txt URL? How to check? Anil says robot.txt. No, that's not correct. It's robots.txt. Okay, it's robots.txt. All right, and then your analysis. So my analysis of robots.txt is, let's go and check. Okay, so it says user agent, and then I have a sitemap. So I'll just copy this and paste here into the analysis column. All right, then what about the sitemap? Okay, so I would say sitemap dot xml, right? And then whatever I see sitemap here, so I have a basic sitemap, so I will mention basic sitemap for you. Let me show it from your WordPress, let me consider a WordPress blog as an example. Okay, so you will see sitemap like this, especially people who are on a WordPress blog. Okay, because those sitemaps are generated through Yoast SEO. Just say yes into the chat box if you see this as your sitemap, something like this as your sitemap. Correct? So what will be the observation here? That you have a different sitemap for post, you have a different sitemap for page, you have a different sitemap for testimonials, category. So see, this is your observation. You need to mention this observation that uh, there are 6 different sitemaps for post, pages, authors, media, and etc. Whatever the sitemaps you have, just mention all of that. Okay, so that's your basic sitemap, Parul. That means your website, your XML sitemap is a basic sitemap which is like mine. Okay, which you can see it here on the Ally Digital Media sitemap. Okay, so similar like that. So you mention there as a basic sitemap. Then next is what? Next is the uh, here you need to add the URL of your page. So I'll take the home page first. Okay, so my home page URL I will copy paste over here. All right, then the title. So title of my home page. How to check the title of any of the page? How to check the title, guys? Remember, as I actually showed you. No, so drag at the tab is one, but then the ideal one is right click, view page source. Okay, so do a right click, view page source, and then do control F, title. Okay, this session is getting recorded, so maybe if you want to do assignment, you can go through with the recordings also, all right? So copy this one, all right, come down here and paste the title. What about the description, guys? From where I can get to know the description? Same view page source, correct? And search for the description. So usually the description is, you know, nearby the title. So you need to copy whatever is there in the content. So copy this content part. Okay, come down here and paste it into the meta description. All right, and then you have a heading 1. So how to check H1? How to check H1? By selecting and do the inspect element. Okay, or you can also do the view page source. By the way, this is H2. So you can do the view page source and search for H1. All right, so here what we have in the H1, or you can, in a better way, when you go through with this, I think this is the H1. This looks like a H1. No, this is H3. So H1 will be the bolder one, I mean the bigger one. So let's imagine that this is the H1. Okay, so copy this, paste it over here. Now in the change column, you need to recommend that if this title you think is not the good title, this title doesn't have a keyword in it, then mention and recommend and write the better title. Okay, so I would rather mention, uh, I think this title is good, but then it should also have a brand name in it, because this is the home page. So I would recommend this should be the good title. All right, then you have a description. So mention the description. All right, and whatever changes you want, whatever recommendations you want for the description, do some changes in the description. Okay, something like this. And then H1, whatever you think that this H1 doesn't look good, or I would say the only digital agency. Let's hear what client says, something like that. So what I've done is I have added my keyword over there. Okay, step 3 includes the technical analysis. Okay, which is divided into, okay, all of you are with me till here, till these two steps, step 1 and step 2. Great. Step 3 includes the Google page speed analysis. Okay, so I would mention here desktop, and then you have a mobile. Okay, so in desktop, what we need to do is, I will go to Google page speed, Google page speed insights. Okay, we will click on this. I will come down here, I will copy this and then hit enter. So you need to mention how much score you are getting into desktop and how much you're getting into the mobile. Okay, so in mobile I've got 27, so I will mention it over here. Okay, I've got 27 out of 100, and on desktop, uh, I'm not sure, but let's say for an example, I've got 100. Okay, so you can check for desktop over here. Okay, so it's 48, somewhere nearby. Okay, then next we have is the opportunity. So here you need to mention how you can increase the size. So copy all this, just the title, let's say this one, copy this, paste here for the desktop, remove, then what else you have remove CSS, or let's say if it is minified JavaScript, all of that. So for desktop, the opportunities you need to mention here, and for mobile, you need to mention all the opportunities, copy paste, and over here. Okay, makes sense, everyone? All of you are with me till here? Great. The next, you also need to mention about the schema. Okay, so schema, you need to mention the structure testing tool. So you need to go into the structure testing. So please pay attention, those who had the doubt about the structure testing tool. So go on Google, search about this tool, Google structure data testing tool. I'm sharing the link again into the chat box. Add your website URL and click on run. So I would here click on run. Okay, and then look for @type. Okay, so here is the @type. What I can see here, the schema which we are using is one professional services. Okay, and what else? I think the another one is the postal address. So mention that. Cool. So that's how you have to do it for the step number 3. So step number 3 is done. I hope it makes sense to everyone. If you're not finding anything in the schema, mention there as NA, not found. Okay. Then we have the step number 4, which is the easiest one. So here need to here you need to mention the optimized blog post. Okay. So take any blog post or you can recommend one. All right. So I would say you need to start here from the keyword. Okay. So my keyword is SEO for startups. Okay, let's say this is my primary keyword. Now, based on this primary keyword, you need to suggest the title of the article, the description for it, the H1 for it, and the secondary keyword with the URL. So my secondary keyword would be SEO tips, correct? Now this I will get to know from the keyword research. So now basis on the primary and secondary keyword, can you suggest a title, a topic for a blog post or for a blog article? How to rank your website on Google for startups? Okay, let me suggest one title. So I would say uh, top 5 SEO tips for startups. Do you think this makes sense? See, you also need to make sure that your keywords are also there in the title. So my both the keywords are there now in the title. Okay. Description, you need to mention that, the way we have here. So you need to create some description for this article. Okay. Then H1 could be a beginner's tips for SEO or for startups, beginner tips for SEO startups, something like that. And then mention the URL. So URL could be www.abc.com, like your website, slash SEO tips hyphen startups. There you go, you're done. So this is how you have to complete your assignment for week number 2. Yes, that is also a good title, Sudhanshu. That is also a good title. But I see you have not submitted your week 1 assignment, Sudhanshu. So please do that. Okay, let me share the feedback link. Now those who are done, they can share their feedback, and then we are still up for the question answer round. I hope now all of you can complete your assignment. Like I have given a very detailed, kind of a walkthrough towards the assignment. So Parul says, how can we use structured data for the images? So remember, I've just shown you, right, how to add a structured data for your images. There is an option. You select the image and you see the drop down. So select image as an option there. That's how you can add. So for example, I'll give you one more example. Like this is highlighted as an image. So select image. You see the image over here. Yes, Rashmi, you can submit that again. There's no problem. See, we have not covered the schema at that. I mean, in the last week, so that's the reason I was not able to cover or take you through with the week two assignment. I hope this makes sense, Parul. Now, yeah, this is only through the highlighter. This is the only yes, this is the highlight tool, right? It's the Search Console highlighter tool. Guys, at least say yes that now you'll be able to complete the assignment. I'm only seeing couple of yes. Uh, but don't only say yes for the sake of saying it. Uh, Go and implement and work on your assignments and come up with the questions. If you're getting any questions, queries, that's why I'm here, right? To answer all your questions and queries and guide you in the right direction. Great. So I'm sharing feedback link. So Parul, same way, like you can do the changes in your assignment and then resubmit into the LMS. That's fine. Upload again, into the LMS. That's completely fine. All right. So yeah, we are done for the day. Great. Dear Hiren, my AWS account is expiring and Amazon is asking me too much for the AWS account. Can anyone help me to switch other web hosting sites and how to do it? See, it's very simple. I mean, you can go with the GoDaddy, HostGator, or Bluehost, right? Which are the cheaper? I think they are the cheapest option available in the market. Uh, if you buy their service or buy their hosting, there is an option to uh, if you want to shift, their sales team will guide you with step by step procedure, like how to shift. Or I think you just need to change your name servers. That's it. Okay, you just need to change the name servers. Try doing it in this couple of days, Sudhanshu. So whenever if you're facing any difficulties, you can ask those questions into the sessions. I mean, to me, and I can answer them and I can guide you. So try to do that in these couple of weeks. I mean, sorry, these couple of days. So Vivek, now the deadline for this is the weekend. I mean, the coming weekend. Great. So yeah, I think we are good to sign off now, considering no questions, queries. So bye bye everyone. Good night. I'll see all of you tomorrow, the same time on the same place at Go to meeting. Till the time, bye bye. Good night, and have a great day tomorrow.